Hi guys, so I just wanted to hop on here and talk about this whole Bonnie Blue situation because this woman has done it again. She's recently was detained and arrested in Bali under the suspicion of recording or, making in the middle of a sexual act, right? She's then since been released, but I wanted to talk about her a little bit because enough is enough. And I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents in there and just say how I feel about things. The thing about Bali is that Bali is a very conservative and very, I guess you could say, modest country. First of all, when tourists go over there, they're given I think some kind of manual or brochure explaining the rules and regulations, what's allowed and what's not allowed, what's acceptable, what's not. And they don't play any fucking games over there, okay? Over there, even as a tourist, you can't even hold hands or show any PDA, any kind of PDA. You can't even kiss your partner. That's how strict and modest they are. They're a conservative country. And so you have this crazy, deranged, depraved, Jezebel kind of spirit-like woman that we call Bonnie Blue going over there and thinks she could just do whatever the fuck she wants. And you know what? I'm not going to say, oh, I'm glad she got arrested because she got humbled, because really, she's not. This woman has made millions. She's a multi-millionaire off of selling her body and banging fucking 1,057 men and being proud of it and boastful about it. And kudos to her. I just want to start off by saying, I don't want people on here to get the impression that I don't support my sex workers. I do. I've always been pro-choice, pro-life. Whatever you want to do with your body, do it. I have nothing against sex workers. I actually admire them in some kind of way. And it's your business what you do with your body. I'm not judging. However, there is a line though. And she was warned. Okay, there was this other, I think OnlyFans content creator. I don't remember her name. I don't know her name for sure. That she was friends with. She's no longer friends with this other person who's in the industry. They fell out, and she made a statement saying, "It's hard for me to feel sorry for her when she was already warned. I warned her not to go to Bali because they're very strict over there. She didn't take heed to my warnings, and she did it anyway." And that was it. And I agree with that. And she was facing likely 15 years in prison. But unfortunately, because they couldn't prove it, they had caught her just in time before she was able to start on her bang bus. So Bonnie Blue was fucking lucky, because if they found something on her, she would have been done. And the issue that I have with this woman is even Lily Phillips, who kind of is, I guess, in the same ranks as this woman is, because they kind of do the same things and did crazy things, right, for fame. Lily Phillips is actually likable, and she seems like a sweetheart. And I actually have a little bit of a soft spot for her because she is so likable. But Bonnie Blue, it's that woman is scary. First of all, you look into her eyes and it's like the lights are on but nobody's home. She's very cold, very detached from her emotions. She's like, oh yeah, this is what I do, whatever. People try to make sense of this and what she's doing. The point is, you can't make sense of it. It doesn't make any sense because it's not supposed to. It's so fucking crazy that it's not supposed to make sense. And of course, you're not inside her fucking head, and you're not inside her mind. You don't have her perspective, and you're not in her shoes. So you're not going to ever be able to understand it. It's not meant to be understood. There is no point. That's the point. But it's just the way she talks about things. It's almost like she has no emotions, no concern, regard for life, for herself. And when I saw her literally smiling, dressed up in a skimpy outfit on her way to be questioned, or her court date in Bali or whatever, to be seen in front of a judge, she was literally sucking on a lollipop, all provocatively, and dressed so skimpy. And she had all the cameras in her face. The media in Bali was over there asking her questions, shouting her name, and you can see she had kind of has like that kind of like that serial killer or those high profile killings, like for example Jodi Arias, who just loves and soaks in the attention. Even though she committed a heinous crime, you can just tell she loves the attention in the camera. And Bonnie Blue kind of has that quality. And I hear people online calling her a psychopath and stuff. She definitely looks like one, or has very strong psychopathy traits, because that woman just doesn't give a fuck about anything. And she was literally smiling in front of the camera. And I'm just like, do you not realize that you're in trouble? Do you not realize that you could potentially be facing years and years up to prison? Like, you really needed to screw and fuck so bad and keep making money and gain clout. You're willing to go against that and like take a risk all because you wanted to fuck in Bali? Like, it just doesn't make sense. She could have gone anywhere in the world where it's legal, or, you know, whatever the case may be. It makes me wonder, how far will she go one day? And when I say that I draw the line is when you want to sell yourself for the rest of your life, fucking do it. I have no problem with it. But where I draw the line is when you're doing shit like this and disregard for the rules, and I also disregard and disrespect. Like, have some fucking respect. You're in another country. This is not the UK. Disrespecting another country, a disregard for the rules, and that you can't wait till young men turn 18, young boys turn 18, so that way you could steal their fucking virginity. Like, that goes beyond just trying to get clout and make money and be groundbreaking and shock value. That is fucking depraved. That is fucking perverted. She's a predator. Because if this was, I don't care what people say, because people do treat men and women differently. When you see it all the time with women predators, when women do it, men do it, it's a big thing, but women do it, there's leeway there, especially if you're pretty, right? And if this was a fucking man saying this, he would be canceled left to right. He would not be able to come back from it. But yet, Bonnie Blue says it's empowering. No, it's not fucking empowering. I don't know if something went wrong in her childhood or something happened to her, or what the turning point was. But all I know is there's something wrong with that woman, because she's willing to do and go really, really far and do whatever it takes to not only keep making money, but just keep her name out there. She is thirsty for validation, attention, external validation. Even when I was watching some of her videos about her interviewing some of the people or some of the men that were in her, I guess her queue or whatever, she kept asking them on camera, oh, did you like it? Did you like me? Did you have a good time? Did you like this? And he was like, oh, yeah, like, I would do it again. I would do it. It's like, and then she's gloating. And it's like, even if you concerned about how good of a time they had, why are you like doing it on camera? And then looking at the camera, like, or looking at it and looking back at the guy waiting for his response. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if she just actually enjoys it. That could be the case, but the latter. I feel like, even though she says, oh, I'm abiding by the law and they're 18, I feel like she would go younger. I'm sorry to say it, because of the comments that she makes and the way she's so detached from everything and how she says she doesn't care. And also the way she shits on other women. It's like, you say this and that about the men or whatever, but then you want to shit on other women on top of that. And she gets this sick, weird pleasure of taking married men away from their wives because apparently we're not pleasuring them that much. And then she said something that stood out to me. She asked, oh, would you be part of my queue? Asking a random guy on the street. And he was like, no, I'm happily married. And she's like, oh, she's like, whenever somebody says that, I think they're lying. Why? And those are just little things that she says just really stick out, that make me feel like something went wrong in her childhood, because she has this warped view on marriage, on love, and thinks that she's just a commodity to be sold. And it's sad, because she had that beautiful life. She was married before, but she was bored. And I'm like, okay, but no sane person just wakes up one day and be like, oh, I want to screw like 1,057 men. It's just a huge leap. And I feel like she's definitely hiding something. The way she says, oh, schoolies and freshies. There is a boundary though, because you cannot sit here and tell me that you, as a 26-year-old, allegedly, are not taking advantage of these schoolboys, of these barely 18. She said barely 18. That is something that sex traffickers use in the sex trafficking industry. That is something that people in the porn industry use, barely 18. And they dress these girls to look underage. Do you see the pattern here? Either way, if they're 18, there's still that underlying pervertedness. So you cannot sit here and tell me that you, as a 26-year-old, allegedly, are not taking advantage of these 18-year-old boys, okay? Their brains are way less developed than yours. And if you wanted to manipulate them, I'm sure you easily could. And that's the problem. So I just feel like it's not even about shock value anymore. It's not even about making money, because she has made so much money. She's a multimillionaire. She's very wealthy. She could retire and quit if she wanted to. But I feel like her huge motivator is some kind of weird way for her to make sense of taking back control. And I do believe there's some kind of trauma there because of the way that she refers to wanting to take schoolboys' virginity and being barely legal. And she does rage bait. But I think a part of her, I think it's not all rage bait. I think in her mind, she really does actually feel and think that way, which means there's something wrong. I feel like she's missing a few screws, and I just feel like she's fucking sick. And we should not be glorifying this, because I feel like she's going to be the one to push a certain agenda, which is why she is so popular and making so much money. Just the same thing with music industries. When they put in industry plans, it's for a reason. It's to get a certain agenda out there, right? And I feel like she's put here and made famous, obviously. And she worked for it, of course. She changed the industry, the game. But also, the more that we keep glorifying this, the more that it's going to be normalized. The more it's going to get to the point, oh, it's okay to want to have like 1,000 dicks in you or steal people's virginity. Like, it's going to become normalized. And that's why I urge people to continue to speak out. This is why I felt compelled to speak out, because this should not be normalized or glorified. There's nothing humble or glamorous about this. Even porn stars who have done outrageous things, they're not as boastful as she is. And I feel like, yes, she's using it to her advantage, but I feel like there is a part of her that's like really sick, and she's dangerous, in my opinion. So that's just my take on Bonnie Blue and this whole situation.